Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session with its jail run docket. First case is cause number 24-CCCR 0708. Case is filed with State of Texas versus Anthony Joseph Harmon. Mr. Harmon, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harmon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Harmon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harmon, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Harmon?
Yes.
That's good. Can't be better than being blessed. Now, Mr. Harmon, you're represented in your case by your attorney Langston Adams. Langston Adams is appearing via Zoom. I have before me a document that is titled Joint Request for Plea and or Sentencing by Video Conference under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17, Article 27.18. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line as titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct, to the best of your knowledge? Now, Mr. Harmon, this document gives your attorney the right to appear via Zoom. Mr. Adams, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, Judge.
And Mr. Adams, do you waive a record in Mr. Harmon's case?
Yes, I waive a record.
Okay, Mr. Harmon, I have before me a document that is on my computer. And this document is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Mr. Harmon, it alleges that you, Anthony Joseph Harmon, on or about January 31st of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense, possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 2A, less than or equal to 2 ounces. Mr. Harmon, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Harmon, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest. Now, you pleaded no contest freely and voluntarily,
Yes, sir.
and are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Sure.
Mr. Harmon, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Harmon, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Harmon, are you a citizen of the United States?
State offer states one.
Any objections to State's Exhibit number 1?
No objection.
Okay, no objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Adams, you've advised and counseled Mr. Harmon. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
There's no evidence.
And Mr. Harmon, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes. Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Harmon, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt and also find that your pleas and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 15 days in the Jefferson County Jail with credit for 3 plus court cost.
What is this court cost? Mr. Harmon, the state is offering that you serve 15 days in Jefferson County Jail. You will be given credit for the 3 days that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $277. Are you able to pay the $277 court cost? Okay, Mr. Harmon, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. I hand this document to the prosecutor, she'll hand it to you. And Mr. Harmon, do you recognize that document? Document that was filled out in jail?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you turn that first page over, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant, top left-hand corner. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Harmon, is everything in that document still true and correct today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Harmon, the court is going to find that you're indigent, and based on the finding of indigency pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the court costs in this case will be waived, which means you would not have to pay it. Okay? Now, Mr. Harmon, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Mr. Harmon, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Harmon, you're gonna stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you finish following her directions, you can follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
You too.
Let's see, hold on a minute, let's see.
Ms. Thomas, have a seat in first chair for me.
Is that Alvaro Isaac Racinos Marlos? Racinos Marlos?
Offense reporters on the bottom. There's a forfeiture.
Yeah, that's dismissed for the forfeiture. He signed the forfeiture papers with me already.
Okay,
Right here, this one.
okay, this is cause number 23 CCCR 1584, case of style of state of Texas versus Alvaro Isaac Racinos Marlos. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Racinos Marlos, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Racinos Marlos? You can put your hand down.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
You good? Okay, now, Mr. Racinos Marlos, your attorney, Mr. Adams, is appearing via Zoom, and I have a document before me that is titled Joint Request for Plea and or Sentencing by Video Conference under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 27.18. This document gives your attorney the right to appear by Zoom. Do you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
yes, sir.
Now, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Okay.
Yes?
sir.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Mr. Marlos, I also have before me a document that is titled Motion to Forfeit. And do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, before you went over this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Marlos, I'm going to grant the motion to forfeit this weapon to the Jefferson County Sheriff Department. And state, you have a motion to dismiss.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Marlos, Rosenos Marlos, I'm signing a motion to dismiss this case. Um, Now, Mr. Marlos, I'm signing a motion to dismiss this case. If there's not anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. You can follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right, Reed, is that Reed? Yeah.
I have a copy of your dismissal. Let him know. Marlo. He's gonna have a copy of the dismissal.
Thank you. Here's my message.
Ms. Reed, right through here.
There's a perfectionist growing up and I've extended it to the
Right here. I get it. Hi, it's okay. Okay. Stay twisted.
Court is in session and cause number 24 CCCR 1232. Case of style of state of Texas versus Tequila Janae Reed. Ms. Reed, is that your full name?
Reed.
Okay, Ms. Reed, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Reed, do you swear, affirm, and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Reed, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Reed? That's good. Now, Ms. Reed, you're represented in your case by your attorney Langston Adams, who is appearing via Zoom. And I have a document before me that is titled Joint Request for Plea and or Sentencing by Video Conference under Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 27.18. This document gives your attorney the right to appear by Zoom. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line as title defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in this document true and correct
Yes,
to the best of your knowledge? Okay, now, Ms. Reed, I also have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Ms. Reed, it alleges that you, Tequila Janae Reed, on or about April 14th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Ms. Reed, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. Reed, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
There's no contest.
Now, I have a document here where your initials is on the line that says no contest.
Wait, that means the plea.
That means that you're not fighting the charges. So you're pleading no contest?
Right, no contest is what we talked about.
Okay. And Mr. Adams, you are waiving a record in this case, is that correct?
Yes, I am waiving a record. And
Okay.
what I did talk with Miss, let me get where you can see me now. Hold on a second. What I did talk with Miss Reed last night about, Judge, is that she did agree to the 20 days, but she told me she needed to think about that and sleep on that, and that if she wasn't fine with the 20 days in the agreement, she would go unagreed to you today for sentencing, because she's saying she has no prior criminal history
I mean,
as
so
far
what,
as her juvenile
so what
stuff.
if she-
So the reason why I'm trying to interject right now is this, Judge. What she told me last night when I met with her at the jail is that on the 20-day deal, she wanted to think on it, but if she changed her mind, she said that she would go unagreed to you today to get the possibility of getting probation since she's only 18 years old and she has very limited history. And I said, well, that'll be up to the judge, but I can't promise you anything.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
I would say probation.
Well, the probation wasn't offered, right? Or was it offered?
Right, that's not offered. And she understands that since it wasn't offered, she would have to. And the only reason
Okay.
that topic came up, Judge, is with her being 18. Hold on a second. With her being 18 years old and all she has is a juvenile, I explained to her since the state didn't offer her probation and it's normal and customary for people who don't have a long criminal history to get deferred, that if the state didn't offer that, she could go to you. So, and I didn't make any promises, but I did tell her that you would consider that, considering again that she's only an 18-year-old girl. We're not talking about somebody that's 50.
Like,
Did-
I can.
So
text
the
you off right
question
now,
for you,
Hey,
Ms. Reed, is,
Langston. The prosecutor says she can text you an
Huh?
offer.
But I would need your permission to fix the paperwork.
right.
She says she
Yeah.
can text you an offer.
You got 100% in my paper.
Okay.
Okay,
text you right
and the
now.
only
Okay.
reason I raised that, Judge, yeah. I know that we can work it out 100% sure, but like I said, that theft is gonna follow her for life, and a theft, as you know, is gonna prevent her from jobs, and she's just 18 years old, and I think she just graduated, if I'm not mistaken, from one of the schools in Beaumont. I know she lived in Port Arthur. She was telling me, so that was my concern when that offer was 20 days in jail. But
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
looking at my phone right now, so we can
Okay.
make the corrections. Hey,
Okay,
I'm looking.
yeah.
Give me a second
So-
to look at my phone.
Okay, so while they doing that, I'll let you look at your phone and, they'll have to redo the paperwork. If that's acceptable to her, and then what we'll do is bring out somebody else and then we'll get back to her.
Yeah. Yes. That's no problem. And Haley, if what you're doing is what I'm thinking, then you can just change that. And I already signed everything else, so all the paperwork is already signed by her behalf and me.
Okay, I'm sending you a
It's
text.
it's
Yeah,
just
they
it's
would
just
just have
that
to-
front
They
page,
would
so
have
we
to-
good.
I'm gonna send this here back to y'all, and then y'all would have to make the change on the plea form.
And like I say, the only reason I brought that up is with her being 18 years old. It'd have been different if she was 30 or 40, but she's young.
Okay, now, I sent it back to you, so you have to send it back to the DA
Okay.
to check, to make whatever adjustments.
Right. And for deferred adjudication. Thank you, Judge. And we can do the other ones while y'all making that correction. Because I got everybody else signed up for the
Okay.
ones that you had mentioned, except for the lady that wants a trial, and it's another guy who's not competent.
One wants a trial and then.
Rocha is next.
Yeah, Roach is signed up. You got him. I sent
Yeah.
that to you. You got Roach.
Yeah,
But the lady who wants the trial is going to be,
That's fine.
I think her name is England.
yeah,
But yeah, Roach is ready. I sent that to you.
okay. You trying to,
All right, whenever y'all ready.
you need, hold on a minute.
I need one.
Jefferson County Court Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number M328090. Case is filed in the state of Texas versus Ramon Rocha. Mr. Rocha is present in court. Mr. Rocha, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rocha, would you please raise your right hand? Your other hand, sir.
There's one.
Yes. Mr. Rocha, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Rocha, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Rocha?
I'm good.
That's good. Now, Mr. Rocha, you're represented in your case by your attorney Langston Adams. He's appearing via Zoom. And this document that I have before me gives your attorney the right to appear via Zoom. Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
And before you sign this document, did your attorney, Mr. Adams, go over this document with you? And did you understand everything that he went over?
Sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Rocha, Mr. Adams, do you waive a record in Mr. Rocha's case?
Yes, sir. I waived the record. Yes, sir. I believe this is the MTRP. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
You good now?
And Judge, on that other case, we've reached an agreement
Okay.
that's satisfied to all parties too.
Okay.
We're good with it.
Okay, now, Mr. Rocha, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Revoke Unadjudicated Probation. Oh. You're gonna have to, okay.
It's an MTRP.
Yeah, I see.
He
but,
signed.
I was looking at, but the allegations that you put, you listed the conditions of probation, not the allegations. And so what we're gonna have to do is, cause I assume he's pleading to all of the allegations, 1, 2, and 3. I think you put conditions 4, 8, and 14. So it's 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, it should have been 1, 2, and 3. That's my bad.
Right.
Miss
Does
Haley has
the
my permission to
prosecutor
change
have your
that.
permission to make that change?
Yes, sir. I apologize. That was an oversight.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Rocha, I have before me a document on paper that is titled Motion to Revoke Unadjudicated Probation. This document was filed by the District Attorney's Office, the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this document, it alleges that you, Ramon Rocha, was tried in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, on February 15 of 2021 for the offense of failure to identify fugitive with the intent to give false information. And this court found that the evidence was sufficient beyond a reasonable doubt to support a finding of guilt. However, the court placed you on unadjudicated probation for a period of 1 year after the court found that the evidence was sufficient to find you guilty, but deferred the adjudication of your guilt. In this motion, there are 3 allegations. First allegation number 1 alleges that you, Ramon Rocha, failed to report to the Jefferson County Probation Office as ordered by the court for the months of May 2023 through August of 2023, as directed in violation of condition 4 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? True. All right. Allegation number 2 states that you, Ramon Rocha, failed to pay court assessed fees as ordered by the court, and as of August 8 of 2023, that you was $712 in arrears in violation of condition 8 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? True. Allegation number 3 alleges that you, Ramon Rocha, failed to perform the community service hours as required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true? Now, are you pleading true to allegations 1, 2, and 3 freely and voluntarily? Are you pleading true freely and voluntarily?
Yeah,
And are you pleading true because they are true?
it's true.
All right. Now, Mr. Rocha, I also have before me on my tablet 2 documents. The first document is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
You
That's
do?
what I had you sign. Yeah.
Okay. And on the next page of this same document, on the next page of the same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked. Motion to MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegations 1, 2, and 3. Did you place your initials RR on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled
Yes,
defendant?
sir.
At the top of this document, there is one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? Okay, you understand that statement? Now, Mr. Rocha, before you signed and initialed these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
No, my attorney is not with me when I was driving.
Did your
I was with him
attorney
last night.
last night go over these documents
Oh,
with
yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Rocha, are you a citizen of the United States?
No, sir.
You're not? Okay, do we have a,
Don't know.
oh, a minute. Now, Mr. Rocha, I have a document before me. Well, first of all, Mr. Rocha, what country are you from?
Guanajuato. Oh, on here?
What country are you from?
I'm from Guanajuato, Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're from Mexico.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Rocha, that is not a mandatory notification country. And so, Mr. Rocha, I have a document here that is titled English Statement for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. And this document states that as a non-US citizen who is being arrested or detained, you may request that we notify your country's consular officers here in the United States of your situation. You may also communicate with your consular officers. Our consular officers may be able to help you obtain legal representation and may contact your family and visit you in detention, among other things. If you want us to notify your consular officers, you can request this notification now or at any time in the future. And then the last statement says, do you want us to notify your consular officers? If you want yes, we'll circle yes, you'll sign and it be witnessed. If you circle no, you're signing witness.
Can you need a translator for that, please?
Okay, we're gonna have to get
I'm here.
Cindy. We're gonna have to get Cindy. Okay. Have him to have a seat. We're gonna have to get Cindy. Yeah, just the first chair on the wall.
Oh, that's no problem.
Okay.
Right there, yes.
Okay.
See.
What is this?
What's that?
This is administrative here. We don't need that.
Oh, okay. No.
Yeah, we need to, if he has an affidavit with this, I don't know if the office open. But we gotta call Cindy. Okay, the next. We go to the next case, hold on a minute.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm here.
Are we ready on that case that we had before? Is she?
I
is
did send
hers-
it over, Judge. I'm not sure if she's.
hers
ready
is
on
not?
it. We do have a Nikita England, he's announcing trial for.
Yeah, I know, but we have who is Travis Foray?
Or is gonna
Correct.
be handled by Mr. Thacker.
Kilmer had to leave, I agreed to take the case for him.
The defendant does
Okay.
need to sign this cover.
So who is it you come out
Foray?
Do you want to?
for it?
For it, Travis for it.
They still doing the paperwork on, your case,
Do you
Mr.
want to bring out England and Garrison then, and then we can get those?
No, we'll do those. I'm gonna get this plea out of the way.
Okay.
For it.
Then, Your Honor, on Mr. Brewer, that's the one I was appointed on this morning.
Okay, is that Foray?
Not for it, that's not for it, there he is,
Foray, okay.
for it.
How do you put-
You go by Travis?
I do, yes, sir.
I'm Mark Fagger, your lawyer, Rod Kilmer, has asked that I step in and take this.
In case we need it. Okay, this is cause number M334070, case established state of Texas versus Travis Aaron Foray. Mr. Foray, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Foray, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Foray, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Foray?
Okay.
That's good. Now, Mr. Foray, you're representing your case by your attorney, Rife Kimbler. Attorney Rife Kimbler is not here. However, standing in for Attorney Kimbler is Attorney Mark Faggett. Does Mr. Faggett have your permission to stand in for Mr. Kimbler?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, Mr. Faggett, again, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor.
And Mr. Faggett, do you waive a record in Mr. Foray's case?
We do.
Mr. Foray, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Travis Aaron Foray, on or about December 17th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Foray, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Foray, how did you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest?
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Mr. Foray, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled guilty. Did you place your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification, the defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Foray, before you sign and initial these documents, Did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Partially, the reason I say partially because, he told me the days, I would, 30
He
days.
just told you what your offer was. My question to you is, these documents that you have signed and have your initials on,
Yes, he
did
did,
your attorney go over these documents with you?
he did, yes, sir,
Okay, did you understand everything that that he went over?
yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
thanks, sir.
Okay, you say
Well, the reason I say that because he said I had 4 days and
I
I was just,
understand that. I'm not talking about the offer right now. We'll get to that. You putting the cart before the horse. Okay,
I do understand,
all right. So you understand everything in these documents,
yes, sir,
and everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge.
yes, sir,
Okay, now, Mr. Foray, are you a citizen of the United States?
yes, sir,
State offer states one.
Any objections?
None.
No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Now, Mr. Faggot, you advised in counsel, Mr. Foray. Is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None that I've seen in my time visiting with him.
Okay, now, Mr. Foray, your attorney, Mr. Faggot, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
yes, sir,
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
yes, sir,
Now, your attorney, Mr. Kimler, has also advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
yes, sir,
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
yes, sir,
Okay, now, Mr. Foray, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 30 days Jefferson County Jail with credit for 4. However, I'm taking a look at his jail time. It should be 5, Judge.
Okay. 30 days. 30. What is Mr. Foray's court cost?
$292.
Did you, it's 5?
Yes, sir.
Confirm, okay. Now, Mr. Foray, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 5 days that you have already served. The court cost in this case is $292. Are you able to pay the $292 court cost?
today,
Yes,
no, sir,
you're not, okay, now,
I just handed him an affidavit of evidence, Judge. It
okay, we
needs to be
just need
filled
you to
out,
sign
Judge.
that bottom part. It's on the right side and the left side. What is it? It talks about your financial information. And fill that out so we can have an idea of what your income is.
mhm,
Okay.
Are you, let me, may I short circuit this? Are you working there?
I am.
bond. His new case of assault family violence
Okay, the court is back in session and calls number M 334-070. Case of style of state of Texas versus Travis Aaron Foray. And Mr. Foray, prior to the court going into recess on this case, the court asked you whether or not you were able to pay the court costs in this case of $292. And you filled out an affidavit of indigence. I'm showing you this affidavit of indigence. Is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Foray, the court is going to find that you are indigent based on the finding of indigency. The court costs in this case of $292 will be waived pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. That means you won't have to pay it. Okay, because the court has found that you're indigent. Now, Mr. Foray, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer and the court's findings are fair and just? And do you accept it?
I do. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
Mr. Foray, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement with the court's finding in this case. And Mr. Foray, you're gonna stand to the, oh, she's gonna have to,
I'm in.
Okay.
You can, just have a seat over there.
just have a seat in that second chair. Okay. And Mr. Faggart, this will conclude your case. You'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And you, if you need to talk to Mr. Brewer,
I've already spoken with him
Okay.
and advised him the court set the bond. He can't have any contact with his wife. And he has to wear an ankle monitor as term and condition of the bond.
give me a copy of those bond conditions that we can give to him.
But you can bring him out if you'd like to.
Well, yeah, just give him a reset. Okay, I need to finish some of these people that we've started on. Yeah, let me get do you have this young lady's case ready? Okay. Is that Miss DeKayla Reed? Ms. Reed, would you please come forward? Ms. Reed, your full name is DeKayla Janae Reed, is that correct?
This is the next favorite.
Okay, now, Ms. Reed, again, would you please raise your right hand? You swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? You may put your hand down. Now, Ms. Reed, earlier, we had swore you in and you acknowledged that your attorney had went over the paperwork allowing him to appear via Zoom, is that correct? And I also have before me, Ms. Reed, a document. Your attorney has waived a record in this case. And so I have before me a document on my computer that is titled information. And this information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, Ms. Reed, it alleges that you, DeKayla Janae Reed, on or about April 14th of 2024, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Ms. Reed, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. Reed, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? You have to speak up. And Ms. Reed, I'm showing you a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment, is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
You do? Okay, on page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked nola contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, There's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? On the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The next document that I have is titled discovery certification. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Ms. Reed, before you sign and initial all these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Reed, are you a citizen of the United States?
State offer states one.
Any objections, Mr. Adams, to State's Exhibit number 1?
Oh, I'm sorry, no objections.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Adams, you advised and counseled Ms. Reed. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No evidence.
Okay, Ms. Reed, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 1 year deferred probation, $200 fine, 60 hours community service, theft class and court cost.
What is our court cost?
277.
Okay, Ms. Reed, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $200. Those court costs are $277. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, and your announcement fee of $15 a month, and reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you're on probation, is $127 a month. Will you be able to pay the $127 each month?
Yes.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, attend and complete a theft class, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Ms. Reed, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Ms. Reed, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Reed, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Ms. Reed, this will complete your case. You will, if you do not have anything else holding you in jail, you should be getting out of jail today. You're gonna stand next to the bailiff, follow her directions. Once you're finished following her directions, you can follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day,
Yes, sir. Thank you.
okay? Here you go, this is for Ray.
Hey, Judge, did Cindy talk to that other guy?
Yeah, we gotta bring him back up.
Okay, because all
Okay.
he is
Yeah,
was the
yeah, he's
MTRP.
right here. Do you have his paperwork?
Perfect. Yeah, I already sent the paperwork to you.
No, that gentleman right there, I might have send it back to you. Okay, here we go.
I just didn't want to. Who was that again?
That gentleman that's sitting down. That's Alvaro Isaac Recinos Marlos.
Yes,
No,
that's him.
Oh, that's Rocha.
My guy, what's his
Okay,
name? His name
Ramon
is
Rocha?
Ramon Rocha. Yeah, Rocha.
Yeah, okay. Ramon Rocha, we back in,
That was locked, Mr. Taggart. That was,
okay. Now, apparently, we had, I guess, we got to the point where he acknowledged that his attorney went over these documents with him and everything was true and correct. And then the court asked whether or not he was a US citizen. He stated, no, he was not a US citizen. And I have before me a document that is titled for all foreign nationals except those from the mandatory notification countries. Now, Mr. Rocha, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on this document? Now, the last statement on this document states that, do you want us to notify your consular officers at this time? And the word no is circled. Is that correct?
Correct.
Now, before you signed this document, did you read the document?
Yeah.
And did you have someone else to go over this document with you? And that was Ms. Jennifer Rogers, who speaks Spanish and English. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you understood everything that she went over? All right. Now, and is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes,
It
sir.
is. Okay. And now, wait up, if I do that, I'm gonna go back to State's Exhibit number 1. On this document, there's a paragraph at the bottom of page 1 is the misdemeanor plea admonishment that states, if you're not a US citizen, a plea of guilty or no contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand that statement? Now, have him the initial. No, you gotta open the door and let him out.
Initial. Yes, sir. Yes.
Good.
Initial, yeah, both initials.
no, it's not.
Okay, okay. Now, these are your initials at the bottom of this document, and you understood, that states, that's basically, you understood the paragraph that I read to you. Is that correct?
Right, sir.
Now, do you still want to go forward with your plea agreement? Do you still want to go forward with what you're doing today? Your plea agreement that you made with the state? You do? All right. Now, State, you'd like to offer State's Exhibit number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections, Mr. Adams?
No objections, none.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Adams, you've advised and counsel Mr. Roach, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None.
And Mr. Roach, your attorney, Mr. Adams, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation? Are you satisfied with your lawyer representing you?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Mr. Adams, pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you advise your client as to the consequences of him pleading guilty of no contest by virtue of him not being a citizen of the United States? Mr. Adams, can you hear me?
No, yeah, what you said now, Judge?
Okay, your client is not a citizen of the United States. And pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you advise the client as to the consequences of him pleading guilty of no contest by virtue of him?
Yes,
Citizen.
we talked last night.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Rocha, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Do we have an affidavit on here? State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is for a plea of true on allegations 1, 2, and 3. The state is offered 30 days, jail with credit for 3 days.
And before we do that, the court is also going to find that the evidence is sufficient to revoke your unadjudicated probation, and your unadjudicated probation is hereby revoked. And That's it. Mr. Roach, the state is offering that you serve 30 days in the Jefferson County Jail. You'll be given credit for the 3 days that you have already served. And the court cost in this case is how much? $110. Are you able to pay the $110 court cost? Yes.
Oh, I need to phone to somebody, help me out because I don't got money in my book.
You don't have any money, okay. Now, Mr. Roach, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Ms. Bailiff, can you hand this document to him? He could just show him the first page. Mr. Roach, that's the document that was filled out at the jail. Do you recognize that document? Oh, is everything on that document still true and correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's see. Let me see. He was previously found to be indigent, so the court is going to find that he is indigent based on the finding of indigency. Mr. Rocha, the court cost in this case is going to be waived, which means you won't have to pay the court cost of $110. Do you understand that? Okay.
Get paper, I need to pull.
No, listen to what I'm saying. You will not have to pay the $110.
Okay.
Okay, because the court the court has found that you are indigent. And that's the waiver is pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Now, Mr. Rocha, do you understand the state's offer and the findings of the court?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept it? Okay, Mr. Rocha, you're gonna stand next, well,
Yeah.
you just have a seat. And when she's ready for you, she's going to call your name.
I think that's all I got.
Okay, and hold on, and okay.
So
And
y'all
for the other cases
take it
that you
easy.
have, they want trials, is that correct?
One is a her involvement.
No, Nikita England is a trial, and then Mr. Garrison, he has no comprehension at all. I met with him last night. He does not know. I mean, he thought I was from Mars last night, and then he thought I was the janitor, and thought that I
Okay.
was sent from an
So what we
alien. So
can
I mean,
do,
it's nothing I can do with him.
Okay, we can, if you still have time, we can do an informal inquiry after we finish. Who's next? Mr.
England,
You
who?
need to be Mr. Brewer out to do the bond condition.
Okay.
Well, hold on, because let me get rid of my Garrison real fast because I don't
Okay.
have no more.
Okay,
I'm done.
Judge, I do want to bring to your attention, Ms. Reed did inform me that she didn't work anywhere. And I
Who is
did
that talking?
her, with
Oh.
the probation
Okay.
that she'd have to pay that monthly, and if she didn't pay that monthly, that would be consequences.
well, you need I guess,
Alright, I kept her out.
she has
Reed
a,
is fine.
no, what he's saying is that she apparently told the bailiff that, well, she told me she could pay it. Then she tells the bailiff she can't pay it. So we need to bring her up. You have an affidavit of indigence on her? Okay, let me send this back to you. Do you still have her case? Now, Ms. Reed, we're back in session in cause number 24. Yes, 24 CCCR 1232. Case of Style of State of Texas versus the case of Style of State of Texas versus Jakilla Janae Reed. Now, Ms. Reed, the state had offered that you serve a 1-year deferred adjudicated probation, a fine of $200 plus court costs, 6 hours of community service, deaf classes, and then I mentioned to you that the state was offering deferred adjudicated probation. I also mentioned that the fine you would have to pay a fine of $200, court costs of $277, probation fee of $60 a month, urinalysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15 a month, $15, excuse me, and that came to a total that you will be required to pay of $127 a month. Do you remember that? And when I asked you whether or not you can pay it, you said you can pay it. Now, the bailiff has just informed me that you stated to her that you cannot pay it. So, are you able to pay it or not? Okay, you said you don't have a job. Okay, now, do we have an affidavit? Okay, I have before me a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. The bailiff is gonna show you this document. Do you recognize that document? This document that they filled out in jail? And on the back of that document is the signature above the line. It's titled Defendant Signature, top left-hand corner. Is that your signature? Is everything on that document still true and correct today? Now, the court is going to find that you are indigent based on this information that was provided on this document. And hold on a minute. $38.
Oh, okay.
So like okay, let me see. So that's
Yeah. The door.
okay. Now, Miss Reed, the state is the court costs in this case of $277 plus the fine of $200 will be converted to 38 hours of community service. And that's pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, because the court has found that you're indigent. And the probation fee will be reduced to the statutory minimum of $25 a month. And so you'll be required to pay $25 a month probation fee plus the $15 a month, your analysis fee, and you'll be required to pay a total of $44 a month. Will you be able to pay the total of $44 a month? You will. And the $15 reimbursement fee will be waived pursuant to Article 102.018 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Now, the 38 hours that was converted from the fine and court cost of $477 will be in addition to the 60 hours of community service. So you'll be required to perform a total of 98 hours of community service. Do you understand that? Then you will also be required to attend and complete the deaf class and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. Do you understand that? Okay, now just have a seat in that chair, wait for your name to be called because we have to adjust the paperwork. And
I got that one guy, the one that you said that you want to
Yeah.
check him out, Garrison.
yeah, that's that here. Let's Mr. Faggot, let me do, I have to read some bond conditions to his client. We need to get his client out.
I don't even think the client.
Do
was
you
able
have
to
his bond
sign,
conditions?
Judge.
Huh?
I don't think the client was able to even sign,
What client?
or the defendant, I'm sorry. Langston's defendant for the next one for this.
No, no, Garrison
Reading him out.
is
Oh.
not signed.
Oh.
It's nothing. No, yeah, he's not signing anything.
I know,
He's
no,
not in
they're
his right
talking
mind.
about
I'm talking about the Zoom.
to allow you to appear via Zoom. That's what she's talking about.
Thank
Oh,
you.
well, no, I mean, yeah, he's nothing I mean, he thought
I
I
know.
came from Mars. There's nothing I can do with
Okay,
him.
just
Let
hold
the
on a
judge
minute.
know.
We may have to,
Huh?
hold on a minute. You have his bond conditions? You have some, copy to give to him? Hmm? I can, hold on a minute, what's this? This is a Brewer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can hand Mr. Brewer these,
Thank
bond
you.
conditions. I'm gonna look at them on here.
Oh, okay.
I'll just pull it up. Now, Mr. Brewer, your attorney, in this case is, Mr. Mark Faggart. Mr. Faggart is handing you a document that is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Do you see that document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Brewer, I'm going to go over this document with you, and it's titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law Number 2. Following return of criminal information in County Court at Law Number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. All bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs or alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense. The defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition?
Yeah.
And condition number 4 does not apply. However, condition number 5 does apply. Condition number 5 states defendant is prohibited from possessing a firearm or ammunition unless defendant is a peace officer as defined in section 1.07 of the Penal Code, actively engaged in employment as a sworn full-time paid employee of a state agency or political subdivision. Do you understand that condition?
Yes.
We don't have a condition 6, but we have a condition 7. And condition 7 states that the defendant shall wear a global positioning monitoring system device at the defendant's expense, and the global positioning monitoring system device shall be attached to the defendant before he is released from jail, and the defendant shall provide written verification to the court within 3 days. That's 3 days after you release. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Brewer, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond will be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, the warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be arrested and placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Okay. Now, your bond is set at $10,000. You can follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
Please go with him, Your Honor.
Yes, that's his copy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck. Like I said, you got to get the GPS before you get out of jail.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You may be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The-
Miss, you have a Terrence Prince?
Yes, sir.
Who has Terrence Prince? I don't have a
No,
Terrence
no, no,
Prince.
no. I'm looking at Mr. Dahl. Is that case, what's going on with that case?
We want to try.
Oh, okay, we're gonna reset it for trial? Okay. Is he here, Terrence Prince?
Prince?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Prince, your full name is Terrence Lynn Prince? How you doing, Mr. Prince? Okay, now, Mr. Prince, this is cause number 24-CCCR 0751. And you're represented in this case by your attorney, Peter Dahl. Mr. Dahl, how are you doing?
Pretty fair, dude.
And Mr. Dahl, this case was just, I guess it was transferred over from County Court at Law Number 3 to this court in August. Mr. Doyle, you was also appointed August. And, Mr. Dahl, what is your announcement in Mr. Prince's case?
He desires a trial, Judge.
Okay, we're gonna reset this for trial. Give us a trial date.
There is a
You can give us a trial date on Prince,
pending felony.
the 16th of what?
She's talking to him. She was talking to you.
Okay, hold on.
Oh.
December 12th?
Thank you.
Thank you. We can do it on, December 16th.
Don't I have number one settings on that day? I got about,
Several.
We have a lot of number one settings on that.
well, we got a number one setting on that day.
If it matters, his felony is not set until next year.
Hey, you guys, when is this felony set?
Like March
March 3rd, Your Honor.
I'm gonna set it there for.
Right.
Let's set it in January. Okay. Okay, well, whenever he comes up, if he's still in, he'll be the number one case, because he's in jail. Yeah, she's gonna give you a January setting,
Yes, sir.
and if that date changes, we'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we can get Langston at, well, when
Oh, that.
this, hold on a minute.
Oh, no, you-
Miss England, you can come forward. And Miss England, now you, in this case, you was represented by Attorney Langston Adams, and Attorney Adams has informed the court that you want a trial in your case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're gonna reset your case, and your case will be set for a trial. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can follow the bailiff and you have a blessed day. Okay, and you probably will have another attorney will be assigned to the case. Okay?
Can I get a date? Or no date?
Date,
It'll be in January. I'm about to get it right now, just give me five seconds.
close that door if there's some noise coming out. She was gonna give a date.
January the 6th.
You know what? Let's set her for set her for an announcement, because whoever the lawyer is, they need to have an announcement first. So set her for an
Want to
announcement.
bring her back next week?
We can do that, but you're gonna have to appoint an attorney to represent her. Okay.
Don't you, post it?
This Miss England, the first person on the docket. Here you go. Huh? Her bond should have been set by the magistrate. I set the MTR motion of revocation bonds. Okay. Okay, this is cause number 24 CCCR 2666. Case is style the state of Texas versus Lawrence Daniel Garrison. We have Mr. Garrison, who's present. The attorney in this case is Attorney Langston Adams.
I haven't been assigned an attorney.
And Mr. Adams,
I'd like to ask
pursuant to Article 1.24 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the proceedings and trials in all courts shall be public. However, pursuant to the case of Lilly versus State 365, Southwest 3rd 321, the right to a public trial is not absolute and may be outweighed by other competing interests, such as the interest in security, to prevent the disclosure of non-public information, or to ensure that the defendant receives a fair trial. Mr. Adams, are you requesting that this portion of the hearing be closed to the public to prevent the disclosure of non-public information?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
yes.
now, Mr. Well, the court finds that Mr. Adams has advanced an overriding interest that is likely to be prejudiced to his client. This request is no broader than necessary to protect his client's interest to prevent the disclosure of non-public information. The court has considered other reasonable alternatives to the closure. The court make these findings are adequate. And at this time, this portion of the hearing will be closed to the public.